So my name is Claire Haigh and I'm the founder and CEO of Greener Transport Solutions.
And we're here at Westminster for Catch the Bus Month.
Catch the Bus Month, that's correct.
Tell me about your involvement in that campaign.
So the precursor of Greener Transport Solutions was Greener Journeys, and we ran Catch the Bus Week, as it was called at the time, for many, many years. It was a great way of getting people who wouldn't ordinarily use the bus or even think about the bus to actually give the bus a go.
Great.
It was very successful. I'm really delighted to see that it's happening again, that it's now actually not even a week, it's a month, and actually it's a better time of year, I think, because I think September, just as people go back to school, back to work, weather's still quite good.
So today we have Liz Truss entering Downing Street as the new Prime Minister.
Yes.
If you had one ask of her and her new Transport Secretary, what would that be?
Okay, look, there is a very simple ask for Liz Truss on that, which is just carry on in the same vein of pro-public transport. In Boris Johnson, we had probably the first Prime Minister in history that even cared about the bus, and was probably one of the most pro-public transport Prime Ministers that we've ever had. Now, for whatever one might say about his wider policies, etc., and I recognise that there are controversies, etc., he was very pro-public transport, and he was very pro-tackling net zero, although he didn't mention it in his final speech, which was a shame, or much, because actually that's one of his triumphs, I think. It was kind of galvanising the world around COP26. Sure. So, my quick ask for Liz Truss is, for goodness sake, don't lose sight of the importance of public transport and net zero.
The £2 cap on bus fares was announced the other day to come in January.
Yes.
You welcome that initiative?
Absolutely do.
But what about the possibility of going further and having free public transport?
Well, absolutely right. I mean, here we are. We're facing a climate emergency. Right now, all the price signals are going the wrong way. So what do we have? We've had the cut in fuel duty. You know, the wrong message. Other countries, in response to rocketing fuel prices, have been providing free public transport. That's really where we need to be, because really it needs to be as easy as possible, as cheap and as possible for people to use public transport.
And we've heard today about the importance of buses and to get more people on board the bus. But of course, a lot of motorists are out there with their private cars, entrenched views perhaps, saying, well, buses aren't really for me. How do we overcome that and win new hearts and minds and get more people to catch the bus?
Well, there will be a critical mass. You see, it's one of those things, you get a virtuous circle. The more people use it, the more sustainable the services become, the more, etc., etc. Sure. What we've got to do is move away from people grabbing for their car keys as soon as they think about going anywhere. Sure. And it is a mindset shift, actually, that we need. We need to start thinking about what are we doing? What is the responsible way to travel? I mean, there's a bit of that, but it's also just the hours lost in congestion,
of course,
endlessly trying to find a park. And there's so many benefits, and I think what we need to do as a sector is really spell out those benefits.
And all in all, are you optimistic about the future, the new government coming in and the next few months of transport? Do you think that we're going to see an improvement in public transport and the prospects for buses?
Well, I absolutely hope that we will.
Fantastic.
But I wouldn't wish to nail my colours to any particular mast in terms of what actually is going to happen. I hope that we don't lose the focus on net zero. That's the key thing.
Excellent. Claire, thank you.
It's a pleasure.
And we're here at Westminster for Catch the Bus Month. Can you explain, please, your involvement in the initiative?
Well, we're big supporters of Catch the Bus Month. We've been working closely with Bus Users UK, both to promote the event nationally and to run individual events on the ground up and down the country. So it's a really good initiative, and we're four square behind it.
What would you say to the new Prime Minister and indeed the new Transport Secretary about buses and public transport? What would you like to see them commit to?
So we'd be saying that buses already do a huge amount to keep the nation moving. The nation's most popular form of public transport. We get millions of people to work, school, to the shops, to leisure every single day. We can do more in future. We can do more to help with levelling up, we can do more to help with the path to net zero, we can do more to help with building local communities. What we need to drive that forward is for the new government to take forward the momentum of the National Bus Strategy, to continue the investment in improving bus services that we've started to see in recent months. Secondly, we need the government to stand with the industry in helping us in our efforts to recruit more drivers. Thirdly, and the lowest cost measure that any government can do, is simply get out there and say travelling by bus is a great idea, let's do more of it.
And that's a very good point, but of course a lot of drivers are reaching for the keys whenever they want to get from A to B. How do you convince those people who have got their shiny cars on their forecourts, on their drives, to actually try the bus and to actually, try a new mode?
Well, that's why things like Catch the Bus Month are such a great idea, because all the evidence shows that if you can catch a person once, get them trying the bus for just one of their regular journeys every week, they tend to come back because they find it's more affordable, more accessible and more reliable than perhaps they thought when they weren't using it. So great time to give the bus a try, particularly when we're all grappling with the huge cost of fuel at the moment.
Absolutely. Thank you so much.
Thank you.